Welcome back to another episode of Ask A, where you ask me anything. You can go over to my website, midlifecraving.com, and ask your questions there, or hit me up in the comments on YouTube or in the DMs over on Instagram at Midlife Craving. You guys have sent me so many amazing questions, and we're going to answer most of them today. But first, I got to catch you up on a bunch of stuff. What do I start with? The drama or exciting news? You know what? We'll start with the bad and then we'll end with the good. Okay. So, I've been going through a lot. And if you can tell, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm all natural. This is no filtered Adrian. I have zero makeup on. My hair's a mess because I've been working in the attic today. And this is real life. And so let's talk about it. So yesterday was Zach's birthday. Well, first of all, let's backtrack. You know that last 2 weeks ago, my studio flooded for a second time, and just like little stuff going on here and there around the house. And I'm ready for a break, right? Like, let's just put that out there. So yesterday was Zach's birthday, and my friend Lauren and I drove up, and we took her car because she's like, Marcus. And I get it. My car's old and everyone's like, well, no, I'll drive. It's kind of like one of the perks of having like an old crappy car is that people are like, well, I'll drive. You don't have to, whatever. So Lauren drives up. It's like an hour away. And we get up there. We have a fabulous time. Zach is doing really well. I told him he needs to come back on the show ASAP. So working on that. And we're having a good time. And all of a sudden it like starts storming, like big lightning, thunder, like thunderstorm, lots of rain. And I'm like, damn. And Lauren's like, listen, I don't want to leave yet. She was like, it's a big storm, whatever. So it calms down and I'm like, all right, let's split, right? The night's getting late. So we get in the car and we turn the corner and she's like, I have a problem. She's like, my tire pressure light's on. And I'm like, oh, that's definitely not a problem. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. But when I saw the pressure, I was like, shit, it was at like 26, I think. And I was like, oh, that is kind of low. I was like, you probably have a nail in your tire or a screw. I said, hit a gas station. So we go to the first gas station and Lauren is like freaking out. We go to the first gas station and the air compressor is not working. And I'm thinking to myself, I literally drive around with an air compressor. I'm like, damn, like we should have taken Marcus. But the odds of Marcus starting, and I actually said to her at one point, I go, listen, the car's running. Like that's half the battle right now. Like, okay, this is not a big deal. So the next place we go to, and Lauren's like freaking out. She's like, I'm just going to get you an Uber. I'm like, Lauren, we're an hour away. It was just a lot of chaos. And all of a sudden the storm picks up. So now it's lightning, thundering, pouring ass rain. We go to the next gas station. She's thinking about calling AAA. I'm like, no. We're going to get home. So I overload the tire. I put like 45 pounds of pressure in it. And I'm out there. I get completely drenched. I get back in the car and she was like super nervous. I'm like, just go. Like, we're fine. We're going to make it. I found the screw in her tire. It was bubbling. So I knew air was leaking out, but it was a slow leak. Listen, this ain't my first rodeo. Okay. So I'm like, listen, girl, we're going to make it. We get home and I'm like exhausted. It was like a 2-hour drive home because of the storms and just like, it was a lot. So I get home and I'm like, take a nice hot shower. I get in bed and I'm dead asleep. All of a sudden something wakes me up and I don't know why. I still can't figure out why I woke up. It was very weird, but I woke up and I was like, the fan sounds weird. Something sounds weird. So I go and I get up and I turn the fan off and I hear drip, drip. And I'm like, that's fucking water. I hear it's in my bathroom. I turn the light on and there's water dripping out of the recessed lighting over my shower, which by the way, like A+ house for just like the leak is literally dropping into the shower drain. So that was kind of cool. But I'm like, oh shit. So I take this recessed lighting out. It's 3 a.m, mind you. Take the recessed lighting out and it was only about a tablespoon of water. So I was like, okay, it can't be that much. But so stressful. And I'm just like, oh my God. Luckily, my friend Scott came over this morning. And we went up in my attic, which I have to admit this, I'm terrified of heights. Like I know I love roller coasters in Disney World and doing all the things, but I'm like terrified of heights. And so I'm up there like shaking on the beams. Anyways, we found out there's really like the previous owner, I guess, put like a tray and it had turned a little bit. And I don't know if it's always been a thing, but there's definitely like some slow leak of some kind. I replaced the front porch of my roof last year. I have a roof guy. I called him. He'll be here in 2 weeks. This has been going on for like over a decade. And so it's nothing major, but really like for real? Like this old house, like it's been, gosh, how old is this house? Almost 19 years. And I've been here almost 15. And I'm just like, can we have like a timeout? Like, let's think about the things that have happened. The house flooded 2 levels. The garage door fell off. The fence fell over. The HVAC exploded. I had another leak in the studio. The spigot, the pipe froze and split. And then now I have another, and then I had the roof replaced in the front, and now I have another roof problem. So it's like, this is vodka. Okay. Anyways, so that's life has been life in as usual. Okay. Like at least it's consistent. Moving on. I have some exciting news. I'm going to give a shout out to my favorite mailman from Massachusetts. He asked that I say that. He sent me a DM and was like, Adrienne, you have to meet this girl. And he's tagged me in Miss Amanda Ann's page. And she's an OF model and just very sex positive. And I reached out to her, met her last week. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen her and you saw our video. And we hit it off. She was amazing. It was just so great to like meet her, and she's so open, and I love that. And I was like, I have to have you on the show. I've never been on OnlyFans before. I've never even seen what it looked like, and it was fascinating to learn from her and to see it, and she's just so positive, and I mean, she's doing well. Okay. And I'm like, wow, like it's just a fascinating world for me. And so she's coming on episode 80 next week. I'm so excited. Like I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. And I just want to tell you 3 really funny things that happened. So oh my God, my phone's blowing up over there. Turn it around. Goodbye. When she was here, I brought her down to the studio, and I was like, looking around, whatever. And there was a dildo stuck to my table, and she like walks by and she just hits it, and it like falls to the ground, and she didn't even flinch. I was just like, that's hilarious. She was like, oh, okay. And I mean, I'm like, I'm sorry about that. Like there's occasionally I fuck my podcast table. And she was just like, oh, it's no big deal. And then I was like, let's take some selfies. Let's make a video. And when you're on the iPhone, there's like the little box in the corner of like your last photo taken. And it was my girl. She was there in all her glory. And she looks at me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, sorry. I'm like, Amanda. She was like, Adrienne, you should see my camera roll. I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. She was like, but I didn't have to say sorry. Like, she was just like, it's no big deal. And then when we were leaving out, she was like, I mean, she has fantastic breasts. Like, she really does. And I said, like, I really want to feel them. She was like, absolutely. So then I like felt her up on the way out the door. And I was like, you know what a gal. Like, and we just hit it off right away. So exciting. She's coming on episode 80. And her and I had such a connection. And we were talking about things, and she really wants to grow her brand, and she's been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and she's very interested in like the whole podcast stuff. And, she told me that her fans ask her a lot of questions as well. And I told her, I said, I'm dedicating every other episode to Ask A. I said, what do you think if you join me every other week, and we can call it like Ask Double A? You let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, what do you think our show should be called? I'm thinking like Ask Double A. And I haven't, I don't have music for the show yet. I haven't really produced it as much as I want to, just because I wasn't really sure the way I wanted to go with it. And when I met Amanda, I was like, oh my God, it could be me and you together answering our fans' questions, because she has a ton as well. And not only that, we can have the communication back and forth with each other. Like that to me is like priceless. I've been a solo podcaster for 4 years, and to have, sort of a co-host, that banter back and forth would just be amazing. And you guys are going to absolutely love her. And so that's the really exciting news. We are working on that. And then also, I have been wanting to grow my YouTube channel. So if you're not following me, please go subscribe, leave comments. I want to start going live on YouTube as well, and dabbling I need to go live more on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. But, those platforms are really hard to maneuver around with the content. But I'm told Amanda, like, I think we're going to start going live every other Tuesday when our Ask Double A episode drops, and you guys can see us on there. So let me know what you think about that. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to absolutely love her. Okay. So I caught you up on all the things. Let's start answering your questions. All right. Okay, Adrienne, how did you find yourself again after your divorce? It It took time. It took a lot of time, actually. I would say that the one thing that I did wrong is that I didn't take the time to heal and really fall in love with myself again before I hurried up and got into another relationship. So I would say I found myself in 2021 when I fully embraced being single, learning and growing and evolving sexually on my own, like really just going for everything. Like I learned about the lifestyle and went both feet, right? I did things that I never in a million years thought I would do. Every opportunity I had to go out, or if I was uncomfortable, and like doing these things solo, by the way, I think that's really key. Like that's how you find yourself. I don't even think I really knew who I was before 2021. I was very codependent. I had emotional damage, whatever from, failed relationships. And I never took the time to heal. And one of the things I really need to work on was vetting people better. And so that's what I've been focusing on. And, I've been single for a while. And, I think just taking the time for yourself, like truly. And, my 60-day no D diet, do not underestimate the power of that. And it could be a no V diet as well. Truly taking the time out for yourself. I tell people who are going through a divorce or separation, I'm like, hey, like take a year off. Like my brother got divorced and I was like, don't even I understand you want to get back out there. You want to go downtown and party in Canton Square till 3 a.m, whatever, no judging. But really take some time to grow, to heal, and to find yourself again and love yourself again. I think that's important. So that was long-winded. Okay. What is your favorite new Tracy's dog that you posted over on Instagram? You know what? I just realized I don't have her down here. Damn it. Okay, so I do have this new toy from Tracy's dog, and it's kind of like the OG sucking vibe. It looks just like that, except from where the sucking portion is, there's like this ball, and it's like a tapper. It's like a clit tapper, and it's absolutely amazing. I reached out to them the other day, and I said, hey, like, when is this toy going to hit the market? I'm dying to promote it because like you guys are going to absolutely love it. So I promise you, I will get you that link and talk all about it. Maybe I'll dedicate an episode to it, but it's an amazing new toy. And if I'll drop it on Instagram first, and then I'll talk about it on the episode as soon as it's released. One of the cool things about working with Tracy's dog is that I get to see these toys and have them in my hands. Oh my gosh, there's a thunderstorm. Do you hear that? Do I need to go up to my attic? Oh my God, if this turns off, I'm not restarting it. So, okay, let's get through this. Okay. Are you into bondage? Yes, very much so. I have a feeling the power is going to go completely out here in a minute. And if it does, like I said, we're done. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Yes, I'm very into that. My dom got me into that, and I really love the X strap that goes under your mattress, and you could be tied up to the top or the bottom of your bed, and you can do all hands and feet. You can do one hand, feet only, whatever. I'm a big fan of that. I need to explore more in that. Okay, the thunder's thundering, baby. Okay. Oh my God. No, that's all I can think of is my bathroom and the light. I'm like, is it flooding? What's your favorite position? My favorite position, I've talked about this, I feel a lot on the show, is like the edge of the bed where I'm kind of like almost hanging on. He's standing and I'm like almost hanging off the edge of the bed, and my feet are resting on his shoulders, and there's amazing eye contact. He has his hand around my throat and is just going to town. Like that's one of my very favorite positions. Do you like the lights on or off? Always lights on. I like to see things going on. I like to hear everything. I'm not a huge fan of music or television on. I do not want to be distracted. Give me all the sights and all the sounds. How do I land someone that's out of my league? Have the confidence to say that you're not out of her league. I think that nobody is too good for anybody, and your confidence will speak volumes for you. So shoot your shot. Okay. Like build yourself up. You're amazing. You're worth it. And shoot your shot with her. You never know. And the only failed shots are the ones that you don't take. And so shoot your shot. Don't feel like anybody's ever, out of your league, you're running the show. Let her know that. Okay. What do you fear? Thunderstorms. No. Rain on my roof. Floods in my house. Oh my God. I'm literally hearing thunder. I'm like, oh my, I'm okay. I'm very distracted by that right now. So what do I fear? Honestly, one of my biggest fears in life is fire. I feel like I need to knock on wood for that. Fire is one of my biggest fears. I think I also fear sometimes, and I think this is a very vulnerable thing for me to say. One of my biggest fears is not being the best mom that I can be for my daughter. I want her to have the life that she deserves. She is such a good girl. And so I want to make sure that I put her out there into the world being a very kind and productive and successful, no matter what that means to her, adult. And so that's one of my biggest fears, and a lot of pressure I put on myself is to make sure I'm the best mom that I can be. And right now I got a big fear of this thunderstorm because it might shut this episode down, or it might be flooding my master bath up there. So we're going to go see after this. What are your measurements? You know what's funny is I don't even know my measurements. I guess I should do that. My bra size is 36 double D, and I wear a size 10. That's all. I don't know. I mean, 9 shoes. Like, those are measurements. What are your measurements? Okay. Do you prep for sex? I do. I think that most people do. You know, I have the everything shower. By the way, a pro tip for that is to make sure you use the 5-blade razors. I love using men's razors, actually. So 5-blade razors, I make sure, I'm all clean head to toe. I use dude wipes. I do not use toilet paper when I'm out on a date. Ever, because the toilet paper will leave residue, especially if you're like a dive bar girly like me and you're in these shitty bathrooms, right? Yeah. They can leave dust behind. And so like, I always use dude wipes, and, I do all the things like, everything shower, making sure I smell good, dude wipes. What else do I do? Oh, sometimes I'll take like Pamprin. If I'm feeling crampy, I'll take gas pills too. I mean, that's, those are some of the things that I do. Okay. What has been your favorite sexual encounter? That's a really hard question to answer. Wow. What has been my favorite? There's so many. There's just so many. I would say in the first lifestyle party was so amazing. That sensory overload and just wild, and like finding my tribe, finding sex positive people who understood me and accepted me for me and didn't judge, criticize, or shame me. Like, for the first time in my life, I was completely accepted. That was a very, very incredible thing for me. And it has been for many years now. If I had to pick, like, not a partner, but like experiences, I would say my fuck buddy in college. If you're an OG craver, I think episode 2, I introduced you to him in my sexual glossary of like my past. And he was a Pawn Star, and he really taught me what good sex was when I was in college. He was 10 years older than me, and every Thursday night I would go over to his house and we would play games. We would explore. He would give me toys. He'd be like, all right, tonight's this. We would just do so many fun, amazing things. He taught me how to give a good blowjob. He taught me how to have an orgasm, like to really allow myself to let go. We experimented and just explored so much together. And so I will always probably treasure those memories because he really showed me what good sex was. Okay. Are you a baseball fan? Oh, I love going to a game. I'll go to any game. I'm Baltimore Orioles. I will go to a game. I love Camden Yards. Give me a hot dog and a big cheap beer. I mean, I'm going to be happy. However, I'm actually not, I don't even have television. Okay, that might be a fun fact. I do not have television. Watching television and stuff like that is not for me. Hold on one second. You know what? I think I just realized my settings were wrong, but hopefully it sounds okay. Anyways, I don't even have television, and I was a huge Redskins fan. I haven't watched football for many years. It's just too disappointing. I can't. And I love going to baseball games. I love watching my nephew play baseball. I grew up on a baseball field with my brother. But am I going to watch it on TV? No. Do I have a favorite team? I guess the Orioles, but I don't follow it. I know, not that exciting. I got a question. Are you married? Nope. I got divorced in 2017. How do I get into the lifestyle as a single male? I get this question probably 10 to 15 times a week. I think I've addressed it before, but I'll address it again. Pack your patience. There is like that double standard when it comes to like the unicorn, which is glamorous and welcomed. If you guys can hear that thunder, I'm going to be, it's bad to loud. It's really tough to be a single male and to make your way into the lifestyle. And I hate that for you. I do. I feel like you need to pack a lot of patience. Get on Field app. Get on 3Fun. Go to SLS.com. Make an account. I feel like finding a couple and connecting with a couple and having them vouch for you is going to be one of your very best ways to do it. And that's going to take a lot of time and patience on your part, but it will be worth it. We actually have some single men in our group, and it's been amazing. So the experience and, it could be there, but it's really hard because there's been some, I don't know. It's tough. It's hard for single men. I would suggest too, if you could find like a wing lady to go with you to like lifestyle events, and you can go to Friction Events or frictionparties.com, find like a hotel takeover, like finding a wingman or a wingwoman would be really great to do as well. But pack your patience and go into it with the mindset of building connections, fostering relationships, and really enjoying being around sex positive people. If you're there just to get laid, you're probably going to be sorely disappointed. So take the time, invest. Annie M. Oh my God. Build those connections, earn the trust of other lifestyle folks, and then they'll introduce you and you'll get invited to those, private parties and stuff. But pack your patience for sure. That's actually a rule for anyone going into the lifestyle. It's really hard to find that elusive connection with another couple or finding that unicorn. And so a lot of patience is required. Okay. All right. Last question, because I'm I need to go upstairs, check my attic, make sure things are okay. It's like boom, 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 zoom, zoom, zoom out there. Okay, tips for a long distance relationship. I can speak on that. 100% make sure that you are communicating and over communicating about pretty much everything. I'm a huge fan of FaceTime. Also, having dates and meets, visits set up in advance gives you something to look forward to, gives you that countdown. I feel like that's vital. And do not underestimate the power of FaceTime sex, okay? Like that is a very intimate thing and it's a fun thing to do with your partner. So that will help keep that connection while you guys are apart, waiting for your next visit. So good luck. But okay, I hate to rush off like this, but I have to go. I need to run up into the attic, make sure everything's okay. This too shall pass. And get ready, because next week, Amanda is coming on for episode 80. And again, if you guys have any thoughts or you have an idea, because I think I really like the idea of like double A. So I think we might roll with that, like Adrienne, Amanda, I don't know, something like that. If you have ideas, let me know. And I'm really hoping that her and I can move forward with these episodes together. Like that would be amazing for, every other episode to be Ask Double A and not just Ask A. And if you want to ask me anything, remember, website, midlifecraving.com, hit me up in the DMs. And do not forget too, if you ever want, recommendations for a toy, or you have any toy questions, or you want to get a toy that I can recommend for you, go to tracysdog.com and use code CRAVERS20 to get 20% off. I highly recommend PCAT, and I love Coco, and I love the OG sucking vibe. Okay, I'm going to split because it's crack-a-lacking out there. I will see you guys next week with Amanda. I'm so excited.